Everyone talks about Denver's cost of living, but most of what you see online is outdated or flat out wrong. Prices have shifted, interest rates have dropped, insurance costs has changed, and market looks different going into 2026. So then I'm going to break down the real cost of living in Denver, housing, transportation, grocery, utilities, taxes, everything you need to know before moving here. So why cost of living in Denver is confusing. So Denver is the most misunderstood markets in the country. Some people are saying it is too expensive to live in Denver. Others are saying it's affordable for people coming from Chicago, from Seattle, Austin, or California. And honestly, both are true depending on what the lifestyle you're comparing. And yes, prices in Denver have increased since the pandemic. But as I said, people from, as I mentioned, Chicago, Seattle, Austin, and California, when they come here, they're like, man, this is a steal because they felt that their dollar has stretched a lot further from the cities they were from coming to Denver because they feel like things cost very cheap. Housing costs in 2026. So housing is going to be your biggest expense moving or relocating to Denver. So let's start there. So the median single family home price going into 2026 is hovering around $620,000 to $650,000 in the Denver metro area, depending on the month you move to Denver. So here's what this really means in reality. In Denver proper, you expect smaller homes because if you look, it's not that much space. You know, very, very tight, like cookie cutter. You have older builds, yes. So the Denver city, like in Denver proper, most of these homes were built in the early 1900s, and you see some of them might have some foundation issues and very high density. But if you go into the suburbs like Parker, Castle Rock, Highlands Ranch, and many, many more, you'll find newer homes because of better layouts, more space, and often the same price. And if you're a person who love new and want to know more about this new construction market, just leave a comment below new construction, and I'd be glad to send you my new construction guide so you can know what new construction homes that might fit your budget. Renting. So renting, it's been changing, and when people move into the Denver area or Denver metro area, they might want to rent first to see, depending on neighborhoods that they might like. So average one bedroom apartment is about $1,700 to $2,000. A two bedroom is about $2,100 or $2,600. If you want to do a single family rental, like a home, your average price is going to be $2,800 to $3,500 and plus, depending on the amount of rooms and square footage that you need for a family. Compared to Chicago, California, Seattle, Denver often feels like a lifestyle upgrade for the money because you're not spending all these unnecessary prices in these rental homes. You have more space. Some of these homes might be a lot newer, and you might save a lot of money. Also, I'm going to throw something in there too. They are offering so much incentives in the rental market to have 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks off your rent, which is a huge win that's happening in this Denver area. Transportation. This is one surprises people. Denver is a very much car city. So when you come to Denver, their transportation is not the best, like infrastructure, like Chicago, New York, DC, the people who built the city on public transportation. Denver is very much spread out. Denver is kind of like if you're from California or LA, you'll understand that LA, you have to drive because everything's spread out and it's more like a car city. And the monthly transportation cost could be like, you might have to pay gas. Like gas is slightly above the national average, but right now, what I've heard in the news is that Denver gas is very cheap right now because, towards the end of the year, you know how gas prices decrease. Insurance is higher than people expected. Like Colorado rates increase due to weather and claims. For example, during the summer, they get lots of hailstorms, and also too when people go in the mountains, wintertime, because of sometimes you might have, conditions because people do not drive, lots of accidents because people are lots of transplant. So insurance is a lot higher than other cities. Parking is cheaper than the metros. Like I said, I love parking out here, being from Chicago boy, because I remember parking in Chicago. Those rates were insane. Coming to Denver, parking is very, very cheap, especially in the meters. You'd be surprised. You'd be like, wow, this is a slam dunk. So if you're coming from like New York, Boston, or Chicago, transportation in Denver feels like a discount. If you're coming from Texas, it feels similar. Groceries, restaurants, and lifestyle expenses. So Denver grocery prices are about 8 to 10% above the national average. I mean, not horrible, but not cheap. But damn, inflation, man, like kills everything. Like, yes, why can't food be a lot cheaper? But this is what it is. It sucks. Restaurants feel like more like San Diego or Phoenix. As I said, casual for one person, the average between $15 and $20. If you do like a mid-tier date night, it could cost you between $70 to $120. If you do high-end like Cherry Creek, Rhino, Highlands, and cost you between $150 and $250 for your Michelin restaurants. It will cost you a lot more. So Denver is a foodie city, but the bill will reflect on what restaurant you go. Also, too, it's crazy though how fast food restaurants prices have increased. I stopped by a KFC and I was saying, you remember we used to a bucket of chicken used to be $20. Now it's like $40. It's like why does food have to cost so much money? Utilities, internet. So utilities are very reasonable. It will cost around $150 to $220 a month depending on the season. We know winter, it's cold, so utility might cost you a lot more. Colorado's dry air and sunshine might help the cost down because, as I said, you might not have to use as much to keep your home warm depending where the weather is. If the weather's warm, like I said, a warm December, you might have to use as much heat to heat your home. Internet, depending what type of package provider, average cost is going to cost you between $60 to $90 depending on the provider. But the crazy part though is so many internet companies or phone companies offering these discounts. It might not cost you that much. This section I want to talk about is taxes. So if you're coming from California, Illinois, Colorado, taxes feel like a gift, especially the Californians. Californians moving here during the pandemic or after pandemic are the ones are winning because they're like, all right, I'm moving to Colorado. Colorado has everything that California has to offer except the body of water and the lifestyle. And we all know how California taxes are crazy, crazy high. So when they come to Colorado, they're like, whew, wow. These people their dollars are stretching so further that they could buy that one house could equal two houses. They're like, hey, I have a house in Denver and I'm buying a house in the mountains because taxes are so cheap. Also, Illinois, we all know like Chicago taxes, they tax you for every different category, which is insane. I also heard they're increasing their taxes. I'm like, what's going on? But their taxes are high. When people from Illinois come to Denver, is a tax relief. So state income tax is about 4.4%. Property taxes is one of the lowest compared to U.S. Like I said, I moved out here in 2019, did an open house, and $1 million home, I remember seeing the property tax was about $5,000. Me being from Chicago, $1 million home in the city of Chicago is going to cost you between $30,000 to $40,000 a year in property taxes. So you can see how it's a big relief. A lot of people from Illinois come into Colorado for not paying the crazy amount of property taxes they have to pay. And the sales taxes vary by what city you live. If you live in Denver proper, city taxes or the sales tax is going to be a lot higher than you are in the suburbs. For homeowners, Colorado is one of the more tax-friendly states in the nation. So what does this actually cost to live in Denver? So if you're a single person, expect $3,000 to $3,800. Actually, I'm going to put it to $4,000 a month, depending on housing preference. Couple or family, like moving, relocating to Denver, expect between $5,000 to $7,000 a month for a comfortable lifestyle. Denver is not cheap, as we all know. Inflation sucks, and they need to pay people more money. This corporation, another story, another day. But for lifestyle, weather, outdoor access, schools, job opportunities, it delivers value that many bigger metros don't. So if you are planning to move to Denver in 2026, don't guess your cost of living. So I built a free Denver relocation guide that breaks down neighborhoods, commute times, home prices, taxes, lifestyle category. You can grab it below if you want a custom cost breakdown of your lifestyle, your budget, schedule a relocation strategy call with me, and I'd be glad to send it to you. So thanks again for watching this video. So if you're moving to Denver, relocating to Denver, have any questions about Denver, and if you know anyone could benefit this video, please share this video with them. And if you have any other questions, leave a comment below or book up a 15-minute call, and I will see you soon.